Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability.
Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability, SVTAGS. I'm very honored to have two ladies with me today that are working with the art community here in the Bay Area, in San Jose, with the San Jose Museum of Art. And it's Batton. Sayre, Batton. Nice to meet you, and I can't wait to hear all about what you guys are doing. And then Ingalls? Sherrill Ingalls. Mm-hmm. Sherrill Ingalls. And you're the marketing director.
Yes.
And then director.
I'm the interim director, yes.
Okay. So tell us, before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Have you worked in art? Is that your background? Did you go to school for it? Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah, I think we share that we've both had a long career in museums. Most of my career was in Los Angeles at museums, including the Hammer Museum. Most recently, I had a stint back east in New York before I moved back to California to San Jose.
Yeah, and I've been with museums for a long time. I've been at the San Jose Museum of Art for 7 years now.
Wow. And you look like you're 17, so you started when you were 10?
Before that, I was at two museums in Massachusetts, Western Massachusetts.
Okay. And then did you have art history backgrounds, or did you go to college for that, or how did you get into what you're doing now?
Yeah, I think we have a little bit different stories, but I actually trained as an artist and also studied art history, and then just started working right away out of graduate school.
And on the East Coast, or?
On the East Coast, and then I moved to Los Angeles pretty soon after.
So you weren't a California girl originally?
No, sadly, but I'm here now.
Yeah. And
I've came at it from the communication side. So, but have been in museums my whole career. Was lucky enough to work at my childhood museum at one point.
So were you from the Bay Area originally?
No, I was from Western Massachusetts.
Okay. All right. So tell us what's going on with the museum, and tell us about the museum. It's been in the area a long time, right?
Absolutely. It was founded in 1969. So we're going to be celebrating our 50th anniversary in 2019. We're pretty excited about that.
Wow.
For me, it's really unique because it was founded by artists, and they partnered with a group of volunteers to save the old main library building from the 1890s. So it has a distinguished history.
So was it in the same area? Because it's been there for a very long time, right? How long has it been in?
Yeah, in the same building since 69.
69, okay. Yeah, my mom used to volunteer at the building, so I don't know what year, that was probably the 80s, I think, late 80s, mid-80s. Yeah, maybe longer, yeah. And
in 1991, they added the new addition, which expanded gallery space and really changed the way we can present work.
Well, now, so what was it before it was the art? Because isn't it a historical building? Mm-hmm. A church?
It was the old main library and a post office originally, I think.
Yeah, it was originally the post office, and then it became the library, and when it was no longer going to be a library, that's when the volunteers in the community decided to preserve the building.
And then, so it was founded in 69, and then the initial cost on funding it, did that come from city, or you said it was private?
I think it's always been a public and a private partnership.
And then the exhibits that have gone through the museum, how many do you think have gone through the museum?
So many, we lost track. We actually have a count, but we present between 9 and 12 exhibitions a year.
Wow.
So when you add up all the years, it's
I was thinking like 500, but it's probably way past that then, right?
Yeah, we just compiled a complete list with some of our curatorial staff, and it was impressive looking over the years.
So how many artists do you think that's been? Probably
quite a few, thousands.
And do you have return artists that come back, or?
We do, because we have a number of programs. We have education programs that work with teaching artists. We have exhibition programs that feature different artists, and then we also acquire artworks for the collection.
Wow, okay. And is the collection swapped out then, or?
Absolutely. So we present 9 to 12 exhibitions a year, as I said, And we have 5 very flexible spaces, so it's really nice. Unlike many museums, our permanent collection can be organized into exhibitions on thematic elements that allow the curators really a great way to sort of stretch their imagination.
And I know, was it the something Hewitt that was just...
It's still there.
It's still there.
Cooper Hewitt Design Triennial from New York City.
Oh my gosh, it was people. You need to go see it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it focuses on the topic of beauty, and it asks the question, why beauty? What is it good for? And over 60 designers from around the world sort of tackle that question. And you saw the exhibition.
So,
right?
and is some of it old art and then new, or is it all?
No, it's all contemporary design by
Okay.
designers from all over the world.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. Like, I went through it very quickly because it was kind of the end of an event I was at, and I'm like, okay, we got to come back. And I wasn't sure if we could actually, I took some photos, if we could show photos, so I didn't put any of those in the slides. So tell us about what's happening now. I'm going to pull up the first couple slides.
Great.
Let's pull up this one now, and tell us what it is now that's coming through. So what's this?
This is probably well known to many of your viewers, a famous photograph by Ansle Adams of the Snake River. And we have an exhibition opening March 16th with a very big celebration on April 7th featuring Ansle and 2 other living photographers.
So in about a
called Fragile
month. And how
Waters.
long will that be there featured?
It'll be on view through the end of the summer.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's great. Let's pull up the next one too, which I think is Ansle Adams also.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
another very
This is-
famous photograph of Big Sur Point.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Black and white. Was it touched? Did they photo touch it at all, or was this just?
No, and in fact, these are really important prints because the guest curator is Jeannie Falk Adams, who is Ansle Adams' daughter-in-law.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
from their personal private collection.
So this is something that you usually wouldn't see.
Yeah, you wouldn't see it at another museum.
Okay, and then let's pull up the next slide, and this is part of that same exhibit then?
Exactly, Fragile Waters. This slide is by Ernie Brooks, who's a very famous underwater photographer. He's kind of the Ansle Adams of underwater photography.
It's so beautiful. It's hard to see, but it's a porpoise,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
and he invented photography for Jacques Cousteau to work underwater.
Wow. Yeah, so this, it doesn't do it justice, so people
No,
really
it
need to
doesn't.
come and see, we could pull that down. They need to come and
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the exhibit.
Absolutely.
And then let's pull that down and bring up the next one too really quick. And there we go.
The next one's also by Ernie Brooks, and that's actually a photograph taken in Antarctica using infrared film, so it has a heightened sort of lights and darks.
It's so beautiful. I'd love to go there someday. So let's pull that down. And this is part of, we're going to look again in a minute. So
Sure.
this starts in April. It hasn't started yet.
It actually opens March 16th.
On March 16th.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's organized by Jeannie Falk Adams, really in response to the Deepwater Horizon crisis in the Gulf, to remind us of the precious resource water. So it's really it's a show that uses photography to tell a story, but it's not an art historical review of photography. It's really about the theme of preserving water.
And will that be downstairs then, or will that take up and down?
Yeah.
And
the space where you saw Beauty, the Cooper Hewitt Design
so it's going to be quite a
Triennial.
big exhibit then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
How many pieces did you say will be?
117
117.
prints.
Okay.
And we actually have Ansle Adams' actual camera on a tripod and some other
Wow.
things that the family is loaning to us.
That's amazing. So, and will the family be there for the opening probably?
Absolutely,
And
yes.
then, and so will you have an opening event on that day, or?
The big event is April 7th, the
Okay.
members' reception.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I guess we could talk about, let's really quick before we go to the next slides, let's talk about your membership too. I don't know if I actually put that in the questions,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you have different levels of membership. Tell us about that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, membership is a great way to enjoy the museum. You think of it kind of as your season pass to come and get free admission, to get discounts in the store, discounts at the cafe. And it's also a really important source of operating support for the museum. It helps us out. We know we can count on it. But it's really a community for us. And depending on the levels of membership.
And I know we're not really supposed to talk about pricing, but we can talk about the levels, right? So you've got corporate and
Yeah. Well, individual levels start at a very low, very affordable rate for one person who wants to come and bring a guest, and then it can go up to levels where you can participate in some exclusive behind-the-scenes events, where you can participate in travel programs to artist studios. And it's a good way to find out what's going on and get the inside scoop, and also be able to come by and bring your friends whenever you want.
And then what about volunteers? Do you have a lot of need for volunteers still?